Now, first story, an investigative report by the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice cannot be traced, even though the Commission says it has submitted it to the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General. The conflict of interest and corruption investigation was conducted on Zoomlion Ghana Limited and the District Assembly's Common Fund. The investigation took 9 years to complete and was submitted to the Attorney General's Department in June 2018. However, the department says there's no evidence of such a report in its records. Commissioner of Shraj Joseph Whittal told me on the Super Morning Show Monday his outfit conducted and submitted the report.
The scope, as I said, included investigating Zoomlion for corruption, conflict of interest, and its officials for that matter, corruption, conflict of interest, the office of the Administrator of Common Fund, and at that time, the assemblies were 138. One member actually was cited, that's the Tano South District Assembly. But because in the course of our preliminary investigation, we realized that the matter was covering all 138 assemblies at the time, we expanded the scope to cover all that. And we painstakingly, despite all the issues we were confronted with in terms of objections in court and rulings, and which necessarily led to delays, we concluded and submitted, I would say, a report in the interest of the states of Ghana to where the report expects us, where the law expects us to forward it to. This is the Attorney General under Section 10 of the Whistleblower Act. That's what we did. So it was far-ranging, and it concluded with findings. We made our own recommendations going forward, specific to the case and in general, as to how we can handle these type of issues. We have evidence of our transmittal letter. We have evidence of the delivery. So when your reporter came to us, we indicated, I called for the file, showed evidence that this matter.
Mr. Whittal said his outfit is prepared to resubmit the report.
Be that as it may, we are willing and ready to submit that huge report with its findings and everything to assist the Attorney General take a decision on that.
So I hear you saying that you would send another copy to the Attorney General's Department.
I am willing and ready if they want it.
Away from that story, the Upper West Region Security Council is meeting the leadership of the Catholic Church in Hamile over the arrest of a Burkinabe national who was keeping a foreign pistol loaded with 2 bullets in church yesterday. The gentleman was picked up following a tip-off of a church member who was sitting close to him. Let's get onto the phone lines now and speak with regional correspondent Rafiq Salam for the latest on that meeting between RegSec and the Catholic Church where the incident happened yesterday. Hello, Rafiq. What's the latest with that meeting?
The latest is that the meeting is still currently ongoing at the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, where the Regional Security Council is meeting members of the leadership of churches in the Upper West Region. I've seen the local chairman of churches, Reverend Apostle Apesara, who entered the meeting. They are locked in that meeting, and then we are not having any sign of what they are discussing at the moment. But I can also report to you that the Foreign Police Unit, about dozens of policemen have been brought out from Accra to beef up the security situation in the region. Some few days ago, there was also a contingent of military from the urban detachment in Tamale who also came around, and they are currently in Central East. And so the situation in Upper West region, they have really beefed up the security.
How are the church leaders reacting to this, particularly the increase in security presence there?
The church members, when I spoke to them, they said they were not really happy about what transpired. They were really shocked on learning that the man, Billy Go, has been in their community for the past 6 weeks. He came from Burkina Faso, and he's a 51-year-old, and he's lived with them for 6 weeks. And the first time he entered the church, and he was expected on. And so they are really shocked about what transpired, and they are saying that they are terrified about the situation.
We recently heard of a number of Burkinabes coming into the country, in fact, seeking asylum. apparently leaving the terrorist-threatened areas. What's the general reaction to these people coming into the country now?
The mood in the Upper West region isn't the best. The people are really not happy about what is happening because Burkina Faso is just next door. And I can tell you that there are even some communities in Ghana or in the Ghana side, you don't even know whether they are in Burkina Faso or they are in Ghana. Take the case of the Hambili border, Hambili, where the incident really happened. It's just about 2 kilometers. So the only thing line, the only thing dividing Ghana and Burkina Faso is that border. And so they're very close. We have Ghana border, Ghana Hambili, and then Burkina Faso Hambili. And so the people in the Upper West region are really scared about it. The police are saying that they are on top of the issue.
Right, and I can imagine how that is going on in the part of the country. But let's talk about these persons who have been coming into the country. Has the behavior of the average Ghanaian there changed towards these persons seeking asylum?
Yeah, I will say that it has changed. If it hasn't been changed, we wouldn't have gotten this arrest from the church yesterday. People are now more security conscious, and I spoke to some people, they told me that the best way to defend yourself, the best way to be secured is to secure yourself. And so people are taking several precautions, at least not to see anything untoward happening in their communities.
Are we seeing any persons profit from this heightened sense of security? Any sale of items, barricades and what have you?
I haven't seen that, but what I can tell you is that there's heavy police and military presence in the Upper West region, particularly in those areas, talking about Hambili and also talking about the eastern corridor of the region. When you are moving to the Upper East region, in Banu and other areas, that's where the military people are based. And so I can tell you that there is heavy presence of security in the Upper West region. And then the security men told us that they are not putting any stone unturned on this issue.
Thank you, Rafik, for joining us with that report. Rafik Salam is our man in the Upper West region. And as and when that meeting wraps up, we'll go back for those updates. Now, away from that story into some good news now. Support has come in for a 13-year-old girl allegedly defiled by 2 men, including a chief, as she undergoes treatment at Eniniwa Medical Center in Kumasi. Accra-based NGO Bright Young Things is facilitating the care following Joy News' report on her continued bleeding and her mother's inability to seek medical intervention. Ohiming Terrier has more.
Relatives of the teenager had indicated the girl has been bleeding from her genitals as well as experiencing abdominal pains despite initial medical attention following her ordeal. The weak and frail-looking girl was admitted at a Niwa Medical Center at Emina near Kumasi on Saturday for specialized care. She had traveled from Freso in Bosome Frehon district together with her relatives after Multimedia Kumasi provided transport facilitation. She says she breaks down at the least thought of her suffering at the hands of 2 male adults. Doctors say she'll remain at the facility until they are satisfied her condition has improved. Her mother, Mary Adakwa, is full of praise to the multimedia group for bringing her daughter's plight to public attention. She says it is a ray of hope for the family.
The doctors put her on drips. They have been at her bedside since we came. I'm encouraged by their assurance. Now I can see some improvement. I'm grateful to the organization for the support. Their advice alone is enough motivation. I'm glad they allowed God to use them to reach out to me. For those of you at the radio station, thank you. You've been very helpful. God bless you for your support for me and my daughter. She's receiving attention because of your efforts.
Meanwhile, Bright Young Things, which has a mission to protect social, economic and psychological well-being of children burdened by demands of poverty, is promising further assistance to bring relief to the family when the girl recovers. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oiminteria reporting.
Some great news there. And away from that, last week, Government's One Village, One Dam initiative came under intense scrutiny after a radio documentary produced by Joshua Asar, a journalist with A1 Radio, Joy 99.7 FM's affiliate in Bolgatanga. The documentary revealed residents in the Upper East region were not satisfied with the nature of construction of the dams, which fall under the NPP government's key campaign promise. In a series of Joy News exclusives starting today, Joy News' Upper East correspondent Albert Sorry partners with Joshua to produce a television news series detailing the nature of some of the dams in the Upper East region. They have also been speaking to residents in the areas where these dams have been constructed. Today is the first of the series, and Albert Sorry and Joshua Asar reports from the Ayopia and Cabre communities in Bongo, where the president himself cut sod last year to mark the takeoff of the One Village, One Dam initiative. Residents there say their dams are providing water for animals and for construction, but cannot be used for irrigation purposes.
In the run-up to the 2016 general elections, President Nana Akufo-Addo, then the flag-bearer of the new Patriotic Party, made several campaign promises to the Ghanaian people.
We're going to go back to Kufuor's time when fertilizer was available and it was affordable for the farmers, for them to be able to...
One of these campaign promises resonated so well with the people of northern Ghana, the promise to construct a dam in every village in the north to help promote dry season farming.
We believe the correct policies can be put in place that will make it possible for our agriculture to work. We heard him talking about one district, one factory. As far as this part of the world is concerned, I want to go forward, further, talk about one village, one dam, to make sure that in every village, we have a functioning dam to support the agriculture in our place.
This promise was first made before the Bolgatanga Traditional Council here in the Upper East region. Nana Akufo-Addo was on a campaign tour with his running mate, now Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. While there were debates on the feasibility of this campaign promise, the people of northern Ghana could only be hopeful, because if this campaign promise were to be fulfilled, water from the promised dams would augment the few rains and long periods of drought that characterize the weather pattern in this part of the country. In July 2018, 1.5 years after Nana Akufo-Addo became president of Ghana, he visited the Upper East region as part of his tour around the country. One of his destinations was the Bongo district. On this day, while addressing the chiefs and people of Bongo, the president reaffirmed his commitment to deliver on his One Village, One Dam campaign promise.
We have begun the One Village, One Dam initiative. And you here in Bongo can see for yourself that we have begun the initiative. Bongo alone will get 10 dams this year. 570 are being built. You have the minister across the 3 northern regions, and Bongo constituency alone is going to get 10 out of that 570.
He had earlier cut sod for the construction of a dam at Ayopia, a community in Bongo. This marked the takeoff of the One Village, One Dam initiative. It is now almost a year after the president's visit to Bongo, so we return to the Ayopia community, where we begin our series of stories from communities that are getting their share of the One Village, One Dam initiative.
It is okay for us, even though we're looking for a bigger dam whereby it can serve us dry season farming. Unfortunately, we didn't have that, but what we have, I think we'll still be content with it.
This is the Ayopia Dam, the dam which the president himself cut sod for its construction to begin in July last year. The dam is the size of about 2 football pitches, or a little less than that. At the time of our visit, there was water in the dam, so it was difficult to tell how deep it was. However, the assemblyman for the area, Joseph Atule, gave us a picture of what this dam looked like below the surface. He described a sort of reservoir inside the dam which held some water during the dry season until recent rains brought in this water currently seen in the dam. The embankment of the dam looked strong. However, erosion was taking place at the back of it. Also, there were some farms around the dam, but there were no canals from the dam to these farms. The district chief executive for Bongo, Peter Ayembesa, insists that while the dam may not be what the people thought they were going to get, it is still serving some purposes. According to him, the people of Ayopia until now did not have a dam at all.
We are living in a community where we never had these dams in those communities. For the past many years, Ayopia never had a dam. There used to be a small dugout within the Ayopia community. I've visited that dam or that dugout several times, and that is why I decided that we should go there, because animals from nearby communities, including swine, go there to drink. For the past God knows how many years, they never had a dam like that that could contain water for the animals to drink, for human beings to fetch, to use it to reconstruct their houses or their homes.
In the next of our series, we take you to the communities of Kajelo in the Kasna-Nankana West District and Soin in the Bolgatanga municipality, where portions of the banks to the dams constructed there recently collapsed. For Joy News, Albert Sori and Joshua Asa reporting.
So watch out for the next in that series here on Joy News. Now, still coming up, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has arrived in Tripoli to engage with feuding factions there over a week-long conflict that has left 3 dead with several properties destroyed. Also coming up, officials of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly have cleared dozens of hawkers and beggars around the Cashew footbridge. Details shortly. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, officials of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly have cleared dozens of hawkers and beggars around the Cashew footbridge. The action follows a Ghana Highways Authority report that the facility is weak and could collapse due to the activities of these traders. Earlier attempts to clear the hawkers were unsuccessful, but the Assembly says the latest action will be sustained because it forms part of President Akufo-Addo's vision of making Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Nancy Emefa-Jwadosi has more in the following report.
Pedestrians moved on the bridge without struggle. As the new situation on the Cashew footbridge following the decongestion exercise by the AMA.
Formally, like this morning I'm coming, I was surprised of seeing the place very freely. Because every day, whenever you made an attempt of climbing the steps, left and right, the whole lot of people, those beggars and whatever, those sellers, they've occupied all the places. We, the pedestrians, to have a place to walk safe is a big problem. Immediately you say something, one may attack you. So today, in fact, I'm very, very, very happy.
First, when you come, you meet a lot of people park here. You can't even get a free way to pass. But for today, I'm walking freely. I'm even running. In fact, I'm even running.
First, you cannot walk freely to the other end, but this time it's okay. When they have to go to the market and sell, not to sell under the bridge. It's not good.
For pedestrians, it was good news, but for some of the hawkers, a lot of inconvenience. Some of the traders shed tears. This woman, who I chose to call Lifia, says she has been selling on the bridge for 5 years, and that was her only source of livelihood. But the sub-metro director of the AMA for the Okankwe South, Samuel Momo, says his office had given the hawkers enough freedom and it was time for action.
We have realized that it's becoming unbecoming. I mean, You can't understand why people would want to mount stalls on the footbridge, which is supposed to be, used as a walkway for pedestrians. You cannot. And there is an intelligence report suggesting that the bridge is collapsing, is weakening. And so there is a need for us to, energize steps, clear them. And it's in line with the vision of the mayor and the president of the Republic of Ghana to make Accra the cleanest city. So we are not going to allow them.
But the question about sustainability was on the minds of many. They doubt the exercise will last.
At times, they will come by doing such a thing, by clearing all the people. But sooner or later, they will come back again, which we keep on wondering that why things do happen this way.
The divisional MTT commander for the Cashew division, Elvis Bawa Sadongo, says his outfit was poised to fight off recalcitrants.
The will to do it, and then also the personnel. And I am telling you that we are very prepared. We have the personnel, we have whatever it takes, we have the will and the zeal to do it. And so we are going to make sure we sustain it. In fact, we are deploying people here on daily basis, on 3 shifts basis. So we have the personnel, we have the community policing assistants, and then we have the metro guards, who are going to be the main people manning the place, with the support of a few policemen, just in case some recalcitrant people want to cause problems.
Away from Accra, health personnel who accept posting to newly created Amansia South District are assured of free accommodation, at least in the capital. District Chief Executive William Asante Bediako says through community initiatives, residents have put up homes to address personnel challenges in the area, which is one of the most deprived in the Ashanti region. Teachers, health personnel and other professionals have over the years refused posting to the area, citing poor road infrastructure, lack of decent accommodation and social amenities, among other reasons. Ohiming Terrier has more.
Amansia South District, which was carved out of the Amansia West District, has no public hospital. The Assembly's quest to upgrade the health center at the district capital, Adubia, into a hospital has received a boost as central government commits to expand the female ward into 100-bed facility. Construction of office complex for the district's health directorate and doctors' bungalow, funded from the district development fund and internally generated funds, has already been completed. Attracting teachers, health personnel and other professionals, however, has been difficult due to poor rules, accommodation and social amenities. Chief Executive William Asante Bediako told Joy News residents are taking up accommodation challenge. He wants the Ministry of Health to encourage personnel to take advantage of the gesture and accept to work in the area.
We want to make sure that sooner than later, this health center will be converted into a hospital. That is our biggest aim. And the assurance is that government has decided to give us 100 capacity women's ward. And then we are also looking at other places so that they will come and assist us with a theater and a lab. So is that the Ministry of Health should encourage health personnel to come here. Because you can see today that the people are so hospitable. They feel the need for them to come here. And people are willing to give the accommodation for staff free of charge. And so they should try and come. The Assembly too has rented a place for the health directorate staff. And so we want to appeal to the health staff to accept postings to Mansour Dubia. This is not a deprived area. This is a place where when you come, you see all kinds of first-class things happening around us. And so people should accept postings to this place. We are also ready to do whatever it will make them comfortable to stay and work for us.
Upper respiratory tract infection is the #2 OPD condition in the Amansia South District, attributed to dusty roads in the area. Mr. Asante Bediako says work on road networks will soon commence as the contractor move to site next month.
I want to assure the nurses and the general public that our roads are going to be tied sooner because it's been awarded. and the contractor is just getting himself set to come.
From Manso Adubia in the Amansia South District for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
To Tripoli now, and the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has arrived to engage with feuding factions there over a week-long conflict that has left 3 people dead, with several properties destroyed. His meeting follows Defense Minister Dominic Nitow's visit to the area last week, which secured a temporary ceasefire and announcements that persons fueling the conflict will be fished out and severely punished. Meanwhile, spokesperson of the National Health Insurance Scheme in Tripoli has been arrested with shotgun cartridges. The suspect, Mohammed Dushi, also known as Gushi Kwash, was arrested at a police barrier in Yendi on a Metro Mass bus headed towards Tripoli when police there searched the bus following a tip-off. This arrest comes on the heels of the Defense Minister's visit to Tripoli last week, which secured a temporary ceasefire and announcements that persons fueling the conflict will be fished out and severely punished. 3 persons have been killed so far in renewed clashes between Chokosis and Konkombes in the Tripoli district. Expect more on this in later bulletins. Meanwhile, many cashew farmers in Sola, in the Sola-Tuna Kalba district of the Savannah region, are converting their farmlands from cashew production to yam production. The farmers are citing high cost of production of cashew as their reason. Joy News' Isaac Nonja has more from Sola in the Savannah region.
It's about their plights and decision for changing from cashew production to yam production. They believe they are part of the value chain in the cashew industry. Term of price control is weak. The farmers also appeal to government to peg prices of cashew to that of cocoa. Chemical dealers who are part of the value chain distribution have been asked to reduce their prices to match with their current high cost of production and low prices of cashew in the open market.
The price was reduced drastically, and because of that, many of the farmers owe. Initially, a bag after harvest could defray the cost of chemicals, but it is different now. We want government to increase the buying price of cashew to help us make profit. As it stands, pricing is unstable, and sometimes at the buyer's discretion. It is very worrying.
Right here in the farm is gentle pay, and as you can see from behind, it's about cashew. A good number of farmers in this location, mostly the youth, are into cashew cultivation. It is such a buoyant area that they have been making profits and some gains. But the farmers are complaining that this year the story is different. As compared to last year, a kilo was 7 cedis, and you get a mini bag of 800 Ghana. This year, the story has changed.
Last year, one bag was 700 Ghana cedis.
Maximum bag of cashew nuts last year was 700 cedis in the open market. This has reduced to 250 cedis or similar quantity. In fact, the situation has discouraged us from going into the production again. But take a listen to the DC for Sola-Tuna Kalba, Lawal Tamimo. Will the other players in the value chain heed to the call by these farmers?
With the cashew, I think we are doing a lot to impress the farmers. This year the price is down, and the cashew is also the goals for those of us in the northern region here. And then so we are appealing to government to do everything possible to ensure that there is market, or the market of the cashew is stable, so that those of us in the northern part will also benefit. But we are also doing a lot to improve upon the cashew plantation aspect. When it comes to the Sola-Tuna Kalba here, this year we have plans of raising a number of seedlings to give to farmers. I think this is a way of helping the ordinary farmer.
For Joy News, Isaac Nonja, reporting from Sola, Savannah region.
Still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Now, coming up in business, validated deposits of customers of microfinance institutions that have been closed down could be paid as early as next Monday. Daryl Kwao has the details.